They prioritize Arne Slot going rather than any incoming transfer that could be transformative to equip him with the right squad. People want to defend Arne Slot and say that the squad was imbalanced. It's all Richard Hughes' fault, but by large, by golly God, him and Richard Hughes conjured up the profile of player and the shortlist names together, and Richard Hughes went out and signed two of the most expensive signings, the most expensive signings in Liverpool history. Florian Wirtz, 116 million. Alexander Isak, the Premier 9, 125 million. And you can't say that any club in world football wouldn't have liked them as a gift, regardless of the lack of wingers. Should we have foregone the Isak chase and put all our attention to Mark Guehi, get him signed, sealed and delivered, while Newcastle were playing hard to get? Yes. Should we have used that money earlier in the January transfer window when Kvicha Kvaratskhelia was choosing between PSG and Liverpool? Hell yes. Now people are saying the Luis Díaz sale made no sense to Bayern Munich. They didn't want to renew his wages. His contract would have been expiring when he would have been past his prime for his type of player and would have been on great wages. But when you pay Cody Matis Gakpo 250k and Gravenberch 280k, God damn it, you should have paid Luis Díaz at least 200k instead of the reported. People say 40k, that's bullshit. He would have been on at least 80k up to 100k, and, it got discounted in that interview with him and Darwin Núñez. And Darwin Núñez, Saudi Arabia. At least 100k for Lucho Diaz, but you could have doubled him to 200k easily, and he would have been a prominent player starting on that left wing with the press, with the energy. But you got to forget, you can't forget that Arne Slot misused him as a centre forward. His pressing energy used him as a utility donkey to just chase shadows with Szoboszlai the 10, and that's why it worked, because Diaz, go press. Szoboszlai, 10, extra man to press. Salah can't press impressively, but he's got good pressing stats because he's part of a pressing unit alongside Diogo Jota, right? Gakpo runs, but he's ineffective pressing. And yet we kept Cody Gakpo with the funnel for Rio Engamoha, which if you used Engamoha to his ability and let him shine early in the season, you could have subbed him off to save his minutes anyway. And we didn't do that. The biggest mistake was not selling Luis Díaz for a good deal. The biggest mistake was not signing a proper left-back winger. No, sorry, a proper left winger to replace him and hit the ground running from day one as a starting left winger. Because Gakpo, for all his faults, for all his bloody point statting in the Gak power, nothing in technique, nothing in game intelligence, minus stats in, effectiveness and unpredictability, he's decent as a rotational second-lined left winger, striker, second striker,